Hey Rob, long time no see you. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
I hope you all didn't finish the meeting before the time.
Oh no, like I literally jumped off and jumped right back on here.
All right, cool. Just wait a few minutes for people to join.
Yeah, no, that's good because I gotta put my phone on the charger. It's about to die. So
Okay. Yeah, I grabbed my charger also. Hey Kala, Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Rob.
hey, Haribo, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Nice. So I
Kala,
think
I
we'll wait
just
for
put
you.
you
Yeah,
as co-host. So if you like to check if you can share your screen
sure.
while we wait for others uh join. So
Let me know
yeah,
if
uh, did you?
I just
Uh,
did.
has started screen sharing, but we cannot see. Oh yeah, now we can see.
Now you can see. Oh yeah, it
Mhm.
takes a little bit of time for some reason, which is weird.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's okay. Generally, it takes a few seconds. It's
Mm-hmm.
not so fast.
Okay. So up for now. I think we should wait for a couple more people. What do you think? Or 6:03. Krishna Mangalarti.
Hi, Bo.
How are you doing?
I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Every day I get a little better. So, is it just you and me right now? No,
No,
there's more.
Prema is here and Rob is here as well.
Yeah, I had to I'm on my phone. I'm not used to this, so I winged over one screen and now I can see everybody.
Yeah, glad you're getting better every day. That's good. It's good to hear.
Yeah, yeah, mature world. So,
When did you get back from the hospital?
I this is I'm on day three, I think now. So well, I don't know. They all go so quick. Because last time I was in the hospital when I saw you guys, right?
Last Monday, last week. Yeah,
Yeah. Did I even tell you what happened?
you did. You went to the doctor and found out you had very severely clogged arteries, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got two stents
yeah,
put in.
yeah.
Uh, and then we found out I've also had a mini stroke.
No, you didn't tell us that.
Oh, well, so yeah, as I stated, after I got the stent, wasn't feeling quite right. And we've been having, I know that's been going on for a little bit. I've been having what they call TIAs.
Mm.
So somewhere, and then they changed and got weirder. And so they did an MRI, and yeah, there's a little mini stroke. So yeah,
Wow,
you never know.
Prabhu.
We'll see if I'm here next week. I mean, you heard about Agni Dave, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. You never know.
Yeah.
All
Wow,
right.
you
Well,
and
I
I
don't
have.
mean to.
He's here in Salt Lake. He's at the local temple here. Just found out about that late earlier today.
Yeah,
Well, we wish the best for him.
yeah. You and I have
Uh,
something in common now, Mangalarti. I had two strokes when I was 38. That's 13 years ago. Yeah.
there's hope.
Still here. We're still going.
Okay. Well, again, I'm not here to hijack about my material body. That's not the purpose of this class.
Well, we can let's start then. So we're going to be reading today from a booklet about Lord Nrsimhadeva's appearance in ISKCON Mayapur and some of the mystical weird things that are happening between him and the devotees, and how he came to be. Jai, I got this going today. How he came to be at ISKCON back in 1984. So, Hare Krishna, yes. I'm not sure who this is. Well, anyways, welcome. Could you tell us how you pronounce your name so I don't mess it up? Riss? Iris?
It's Iris, Hare Krishna.
Iris, yes, I was wondering. Hare
I'm setting
Krishna.
up the camera so you can see me, but I'm having a
That's
technical
okay.
problem. I'm based in Orlando. I'm part of the community in Orlando. Nice to meet you guys.
Oh, nice. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Christian West Vancouver's Monday Night Book Club. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hare Krishna, Devalaya.
Hare Krishna.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah. Not bad, not bad. So we're just about to start. We're going to start reading from the booklet about how Lord Nrsimhadeva appeared in ISKCON Mayapur. And then, what I think is what we'll do is, it's quite a bit actually. Such a cool story. So I just wanted to bring this for this night's program. But so far there's 6 of us. I think what I'll do is I'll start reading and I'll read a little bit, and then we can just kind of go and I'll ask someone else to read, and then I'll ask someone else to read. That way we can get all through it. Not everyone has to read the whole thing. Let me just share my screen. We're going to admit someone else here. Yep. Okay. So this booklet, it's a scanned copy I found on PDF. So there's the cover. Can you all see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, wonderful. Please forgive me, because this is my first time doing this, and I just clicked back and I don't know how to get back to it. Let's see. There we are. Okay. So it is a scanned copy, and the pages are kind of, it's not one after another. There's 2 on each page together. So bear with me while we get everything in order here, please, and thank you. Okay, so I'll head us off here. The appearance of Lord Nrsimhadeva in ISKCON Sri Mayapur, based on a talk with H.G. Atmatattva Dasadhikari. On the 24th of March, 1984, at 12:20 a.m., 35 dacoits armed with weapons and bombs attacked Sri Mayapur Chandrodya Mandir. They harassed the devotees and treated them with derision. But the greatest shock came when the dacoits decided to steal the deities of Srila Prabhupada and Srimati Radharani. Fearlessly, the devotees challenged the attackers. How could they see Srila Prabhupada and Srimati Radharani carried away? Shots were fired, a few dacoits fell, and their plans were foiled. Srila Prabhupada was rescued, but that beautiful form of Srimati Radharani would no longer grace the main altar. This incident really disturbed the minds of the devotees. Those involved in management were especially concerned to make some permanent solution. This was not the first time the devotees had faced violence and harassment in Mayapur. Bhavananda Das, who was the co-director of ISKCON Mayapur, suggested that Lord Nrsimhadeva be installed. When the dacoits had threatened devotees at the Yoga Pit, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his son Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had promptly installed Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadeva. There had been no further disturbances. Other devotees in Mayapur were not so keen to follow so closely in these footsteps. The pujari must be a Naishtika Brahmachari, or celibate from birth. And the worship of Lord Nrsimhadeva must be very strict and regulated. Who would be prepared to worship him? Prema, do you want to continue?
I can read.
Thank you.
Despite such exitancy, Bhavananda Dasa was enthusiastic to bring Lord Nrsimhadeva to Mayapur. He asked Bhaktisiddhanta Dasa and myself to draw some sketches. One day, quite spontaneously, he said that the deity's legs should be bent, ready to jump. He should be looking around furiously, his fingers should be curled, and flames should be coming from his head. I sketched the deity in this mood.
Thank you. Mangalarti, would you like to continue reading for us?
We're taking off where the devotees liked it.
Yes.
Okay. The devotees liked it, and Panka Jangiri Das agreed to worship him. Radhapada Das, a wealthy devotee from Calcutta, offered to sponsor the sculpting and installing of the deities. It seemed that Nrsimhadeva's appearance in ISKCON Mayapur would be a simple, straightforward affair. Radhapada Das promptly gave 130 rishis, I think that's how it says, rupees. And
Rupees, I think. Yeah.
The deity would be ready for installation in 3 months. I left for South India to get things organized. By Krishna's grace, I soon found a very famous Stapati. The Stapati not only sculpts deities, he is also expert in temple architecture and engineering. The man was very obliging until I mentioned that the deity we wanted carved was Ugra Nrsimha. He emphatically refused to make such a deity. I approached many deity sculptures, but the answer was always the same: no. I had made a number of trips between Mayapur and South India. 6 months had passed, but Lord Nrsimhadeva had not yet manifested in his deity form. Radhapada Das was very...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going if you, yeah. Keep going if you feel like it. Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem. Radhapada Das was very anxious to see Lord Nrsimhadeva installed in Mayapur. He asked me to visit the original, I hope I'm not saying, Stapati?
Stapati, I think. Stapati.
I know that it's Ekadashi and is everyone thinking about chapatis, but I also think that it's tapati.
My Sanskrit is not good on any day.
We are all learning here, Mangalarti. No problem.
All right, let's see if we continue here. So he asked me to visit the original Stapati I had seen, and once again pled our case. This time the sculpture was a little more congenial and offered to read me a chapter from the Silpa Shastra, a Vedic scripture on sculpture and temple architecture that deals with the different forms of deities. He read aloud some of the verses describing Lord. Let's see, I'm on my phone. I got a slide. You got to bring that
right there
down.
on page 5. Lord Nrsimhadeva.
Now I can see it. Lord Nrsimhadeva. A series of verses described his flame-like mane, his searching glance, and his knees bent with one foot forward, ready to jump from the pillar. When he read this, I was amazed. This was exactly what we wanted. I showed him the sketch I had done. He was impressed and offered to draw an outline based on the scriptural description, which we could use as a guide for sculpting the deity. He reminded me, though, that he could not carve the form himself. It took him a week to complete the sketch, and it was very impressive. I returned to Mayapur and showed him the sketch, and showed the sketch to the temple authorities. Everyone wanted the same Stapati I gotta move this so I can see it. Oh, to carve the deity. Once again, I was sent back to South India to try and convince him.
Thank you. Rob, would you like to continue reading if you're able to?
I'm not able to right now.
Okay, no problem. No problem. How about you, Devalaya?
Sure, I can read.
Thank you.
I went straight to the house of the Shtapati when I was feeling very anxious. What could I do but pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva to be merciful and agree to manifest himself in our temple in Sri Mayapur Dhamma? I had hardly said the 2 sentences when the man very matter-of-factly said he would carve the deity. The story of how he came to this decision is interesting. Should I continue?
Sure, please.
Okay. The Sripati had approached his guru and the Sankaracharya of Kanchipuram about our request. His guru's immediate reply was, "Don't do it. Your family will be destroyed." But then, after a moment's reflection, he asked, "Who has asked you to carve this deity?" When he heard it was the Hare Krishna people from Navadvipa, he became very concerned. They want Ugra Nrsimha? Are they aware of the implications of sculpting and installing Ugra Nrsimha? Such deities were carved over 3,000 years ago by very elevated Shipatis. There is a place on the way to Mysore where a very ferocious Ugra Nrsimha is installed. The demon Hiranyakashipu is torn open on his lap, and his intestines are spilling out all over the altar. Once the standard of worship there was very high. There was an elephant procession and a festival every day. But gradually the worship declined. Today that place is like a ghost town. The whole village is deserted. No one can live there peacefully. Is that what they want for their project?
Okay. I'll continue. The Shtapati replied, "They are very insistent. They are constantly coming to talk to me about this deity. Apparently, they have some problems with dacoits." Handing his guru a sketch of the deity, he said, "This is the deity they want." His guru took the sketch and looked at it knowingly. "Ah, this is Ugra category," he said. "But a deity in this particular mood is called Shtanu Nrsimha. He doesn't exist on this planet. Even the demigods in the heavenly planets don't worship a form like this. Yes, this deity belongs to the Ugra category. Ugra means ferocious, very angry. There are 9 forms within this category. They all have fierce, they're all very fierce. The one they want is Stanu Nrsimha, stepping out of the pillar. No, don't carve this deity. It will not be auspicious for you. I will talk with you about this later." Sorry, as I scroll. A few nights later, the Stapati had a dream. In the dream, his guru came to him and said, "For them you can carve Shtanu Nrsimha." The next morning, he received a hand-delivered letter from Kanchipuram. The letter was from the Sankaracharya and gave some instructions regarding temple renovations. There was a footnote at the bottom. It read, "For ISKCON, you can carve the Shtanu Nrsimha." The Shtapati showed me the letter and said, "I have my guru's blessings. I will carve your deity." I was overwhelmed with joy. I gave him an advance payment and asked him how much time it would take to carve the deity. He said the deity would be ready for installation within 6 months. I returned to Mayapur. After 4 peaceful months in the Holy Dham, I decided to go to South India and purchase the heavy brass paraphernalia required for Nrsimhadeva worship, and then collect the deity. The trip was well organized and trouble-free until I visited the Shtapati. I explained to him that all the paraphernalia required for the worship had been purchased and that I had come to collect the deity. He looked at me as if I'd lost my senses and exclaimed, "What deity? I haven't even found suitable stone." I couldn't believe my ears. Iris, would you like to read? Thank you.
Absolutely.
All All right, here.
But you told me he will be ready in 6 months, I exclaimed. I will keep my promise, he said. 6 months after I find the stone, the deity will be ready for installation. His reply was emphatic, but I just couldn't understand or accept the delay. In frustration, I challenged him. There is a big slab of stone all over South India. What's the problem? He looked at me the way a teacher would view a slow student and said very deliberately, I'm not making a grinding mortar. I'm making a deity. The scriptures tell us that only a stone that has life can be used to make a Vishnu deity. When you hit 7 points of the stone, of the stone slab, and each makes the sound mentioned in the scriptures, then that stone might be suitable. But there is a second test to indicate whether the stone is living stone. There is a bug that eats granite. Granite? How do you pronounce it? Granite?
Granite.
Granite. If it eats from one side of the stone to the other and leaves a complete trail visible behind it, then the second test of living stone has been passed. That the stone is living stone, an expression can manifest from it. Only from such a slab can I carve your Nrsimhadeva. Such a stone speaks poetry. All features of a deity sculpted from such a stone will be fully expressive and beautiful. Please be patient. I've been searching sincerely for your 6-foot slab. Shall I continue?
Sure, if you'd like, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
I was amazed and a little anxious. The devotees in Mayapur were expecting the arrival of the deity soon. How was I going to explain the living stone search to them? Maybe they would decide to make Nrsimhadeva from marble. I decided to try to lighten the subject by discussing the Prahlad Maharaj Murti with the Shtapati. Please forgive. And I can read the. Yeah, I can read. Yeah. Please forgive me. But I forgot to tell you last time I came that we also want a Prahlad Murti. We want to worship Prahlad Nrsimhadeva. What do you think? I don't think that will be possible. The Shtapari replied matter-of-factly. I look at him incredulously, not sure what to say. He smiled and continued, you want everything done exactly according to the scriptures. Your Nrsimhadeva will be 4 feet high, comparatively speaking. That will make Prahlad Maharaj the size of amoeba. But we want Prahlad Maharaj 1 foot high, I interrupt. Fine, the Shtapari replied. But that means your Nrsimhadeva will have to be about 120 feet high. We began to argue back and forth about Prahlad Maharaj form. Finally, the Shtapari sighed in resignation and agreed to make Prahlad Maharaj 1 foot tall. At least I now had something positive to report when I returned to Mayapur.
Thank you. Prema, would you like to continue?
Yes, I can read. After 2 months, I returned to South India. There had been no developments. I shuttled back and forth from Mayapur to South India every 30 or 40 days. Finally, our stone was found, and the Stapati became a transformed man. For over a week, he hardly spent any time at home. Hour after hour, day after day, he just sat staring at his lap. He had chalk in hand, but didn't draw anything. He refused to allow his laborers to do anything besides remove the excess stone to make the slab rectangular. The next time I visited him, he made a sketch on the stone. That was all. I was worried. The Mayapur managers were becoming impatient. Should I continue?
Sure, please.
Are you sure this date will be finished in 6 months? I asked in desperation. Don't worry, the work will be done, he replied. I returned to Mayapur, only be sent back to South India to check on some details of the deity. I found the Stapati carving the form himself with intense care and dedication. At that stage, the stone had gone and the shape had come. The Stapati had just started on the armlets. He took 2 weeks to carve them. All the features were so refined and delicate. I was impressed and very happy. I don't know if you continue or should I?
Yeah, if you want. I think there's only like a little bit left.
Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. But I can read too. Yeah, just let me know.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. It took the Shtapadi a little over 12 months to finish the deity. It's a lot longer than the 6 months, eh? When he completed the work, he didn't immediately inform me, but decided to visit some friends for a few days. It was monsoon season. There were few visitors, and he felt it safe to lock up Lord Nrsimhadeva securely in his thatched shed. 2 days later, his neighbors ran to inform him that the thatched shed was on fire. There was a heavy rain and everything was wet, but the coconut tree roof had caught fire. He ran to the scene to find Nrsimhadeva untouched, but the shed burned to ashes. Immediately he phoned me, "Please come and take your deity. He's burning everything. He's made it clear he wants to go now." Enthusiastically, I traveled to South India, hired a truck, and half filled it with sand. I arrived at the Shtapadi studio thinking this final stage would be relatively simple. I'd foolishly forgotten that Lord Nrsimhadeva is a very heavy personality. He weighed 1 ton. After 2 or 3 hours, we managed to lift the deity safely from the shed onto the truck. To travel across the border safely, we also needed police permission, along with signed papers from the Central Sales Tax Department, the Archaeological Director, and the Art Emporium Directorate in Tamil Nadu. All the officers demanded to see the deity before signing the necessary papers. Once they took darshan of Lord Nrsimhadeva, they all become very obliging and efficient. We had all the necessary papers in hand within 24 hours, a miracle given the usual quagmire of bureaucracy found in government offices in India. The trip back to Mayapur was also amazingly trouble-free and peaceful. Our protector was certainly present with us. Usually the Stapati comes on the day of the installation ceremony, goes into the deity room, and carves the eyes of the deity. This is called Netra Nimilanam, opening the eyes. It was an exceptional case that our Nrsimhadeva Shtapati had already carved the eyes. He had not only carved the eyes, he had also done the prana pratishtaha, installing the life force, a little puja and an arti. I am sure that this is why all the papers were prepared so obligingly, and transporting the Supreme Lord was so easy. He was already present, and who would dare say no to Lord Nrsimhadeva? The installation of Lord Nrsimhadeva was very simple and lasted 3 days, from the 28th to the 30th of July, 1986. I remember feeling apprehensive that perhaps this installation was too simple. The grave warnings of the Sankacharya and of Kanishvaram had deeply impressed me, but my mind was soon appeased by an awareness of loud, dynamic kirtan. Sankirtan Yagna, the only true opulence of Kali Yuga, was dominating the scene. I felt enlivened and satisfied. Lord Nrsimhadeva, the protector of the Sankirtan mission, had finally decided to manifest at Sri Mayapur Chandrodya Mandir. Haribol. It's a pretty interesting story, you know. What do you all think? It actually, it makes me think about how I wonder, you know, at the beginning, the Srimati Radharani was stolen, and all the deities in Mayapur are huge, right? They're so big, like except for Prabhupada, he's life size. But you know, I wonder how it was stolen, and I wonder also is if, because I don't know the history, like what deities were there in Mayapur first. wonder if didn't the Panchatattva come later? Like, is that why they made them so huge and brass? I don't know if anyone knows or not, but maybe if someone does, they could share about that.
I don't know the timeline, but if I'm right, the brass ones, there's actually a video. Isn't that the one that Jayapataka had made?
Yes, I think that. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Because I remember when that happened, because I've always taken an interest in casting, and they actually there's a whole video on it or something somewhere when they cast those deities. So that happened within my time. So
cool.
I'm not sure when the Nrsimhadeva. It doesn't say in this book when they were installed. What year?
Not in this booklet about the Panchatattva, no. But the
one for
Nrsimhadeva was installed in 1986. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was first then, because I was had to be, because I was living on the farm, I think, when I heard about Jayapataka and the other one. Or maybe I was even, because I just found it interesting because the way they buried him, the Chaitanya ones, because they literally dug a pit and they had to put him in an angle in the ground, and then that's how they poured them. Oh
wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
That I know more about a little bit.
That's cool.
Because I have all the ability to pour brass at my house, but deities or something I'll stay far away from.
Welcome, Manan and Dana. Thanks for joining us. We just read about how Lord Nrsimhadeva first came to appear in ISKCON Mayapur. Quite an interesting story. And has anyone had the opportunity to have darshan of Lord Nrsimhadeva in Mayapur? I have. Has anyone else? No?
I've
Prema,
been
you
there
have? Yes.
in 2019. Yes, and it's impressive. It's really impressive.
Very impressive.
It's beautiful. When we watch the Arati on Mayapur TV, looks impressive, and what I can say is that it's even more impressive when you are there. It's out of this world. I share on the chat here the other Yugur Nrsimha deity that is mentioned on the text, and it's quite amazing also.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to share before today, there is such a cool video. It's called Pilgrimage to Lobam. And it's this devotee who he was young, 18, 19. He traveled all of India to find all the Nrsimhadeva deities, and ended up in Lobam, where Nrsimhadeva is said to come out of the pillar. And he went to find deities that they had to crawl through a sewer underground to a Nrsimhadeva deity, and they finally entered into where the deity was, and there was a wedding going on, and it's such a cool video. But unfortunately, the YouTube channel Labba Devotees has set to private now, and I've watched it a couple times through the years, and it's always been public, but now it's set to private, so I couldn't get the link to share it, unfortunately. But this devotee I'm talking about, he's the one who, there's two big coffee table books about Nrsimhadeva. He's the one who produced those books. That's the same Prabhu. So I agree with Prema. Seeing Nrsimhadeva in Mayapur is like the bell goes and the doors open, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's like hundreds of lamps going, and it's just like this fire is going. It's incredible. It's something really special. So let's go back to I was still sharing the screen. My apologies. New to this. I'm going to stop sharing it for a moment because I want to find this really cool pastime. So this booklet contains a few pastimes about things that happen with devotees and Lord Nrsimhadeva. And I just wanted to go through a couple and read a couple so we can all have some inspiration about, when we say our prayers and how it's how it can be very true that Nrsimhadeva is our protector, right? So
It's very interesting because Krishna appears himself in the form of the deity for us to learn how to have a relationship with him and how to reciprocate with Krishna, right? And I'm not sure how much familiar everyone here is with Rupa, with the forms of Krishna or not, but every deity has different necessities. So when you install in a temple Krishna Balaram, for instance, Krishna Balaram has a type of specific necessities and a number of devotees to take care of the deity. The number of devotees that take care of Gauranitai, for instance, it's not the same number of devotees that are necessary to take care of Radha Govinda, that requires more devotees. So every deity has different necessities. Like us, we are different people here, we have different necessities. And it's interesting because Nrsimhadeva is a form of deity that doesn't look so sweet, but the devotees have so much affection, right? The devotees relate to Nrsimhadeva as a cat, not as, wow, Nrsimhadeva and all this ferocious aspect. So when we see the deity in Mayapur, we know that there is lots of pastimes with this specific deity. And every specific deity in every temple has their own stories. So I don't know if you're familiarized with this or not. So just sharing here because I think that this is very interesting.
it is. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, just like in the beginning of that story we read, me talking about specific necessities, the pujari for that Nrsimhadev has been celibate since birth. Right? Someone who's not celibate cannot since birth, not like since for the past 10 years as brahmachari or whatever, but since birth can be the pujari, which I find pretty interesting. Also, I'm laughing right now because Iris's cat keeps passing by, and I think is a little jealous that we're all talking about Lord Nrsimhadeva is trying to say, no, I'm have darshan of me, please. Okay, so I'm going to share this now. Please let me know if you can, when you all see it.
We can see.
Okay, so this is an interesting story, and it's entitled "I Want My Eyes Back." Would anyone like to start reading? Because I will. That's fine. Okay, I Want My Eyes Back by Atmarati Dasi. On a warm December morning last year, around 11 a.m., as I sought the association of the magnificent Lord and prayed to his dearmost devotee, Prahlad, I found myself involved in one of his temple leelas, much to my astonishment. After offering my obeisances to the captivating Prahlad, who stands next to his beloved Lord with his hands folded and his small body decorated with fresh flowers and beautiful ornaments, I prayed, my dear Prahlad, you are expert in receiving all kinds of blessings from Lord Nrsimhadeva. You even received the blessing blessings of forgiveness for your demoniac father, Haryana Kashipu. Thank you, Haryana Kashipu. Please ask your Lord to bless this poor soul with the destruction of everything that stands in the way of her devotional service. Show me the way to real happiness. Then, as I stood meditating on the Lord's beauty and mercy, I heard a very sweet, deep voice. I want my eyes back. At first, I ignored it and kept my mind in the mode of prayer. But the voice spoke a second time. I want my eyes back. Attempting again to disregard the clear message raised a burning and almost painful sensation in my heart. I was dumbfounded. What was I to do? Then the voice continued, go to the pujari. Okay, I thought, I have nothing to lose. If the pujaris think I am crazy, I will at most lose a bit of my false ego. Praying to the Lord to give me the strength to carry out his order, I paid my obeisances and almost breathlessly headed for the pujari rooms. There I found Janavas Prabhu reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. The atmosphere in the room was extremely serene and otherworldly. I stood there for several minutes and waited for him to notice me. Then after I told him what happened, he asked me to go see his twin brother, Pankajangri Prabhu, the actual pujari of Lord Nrsimhadeva. Somehow I felt that I didn't have to do more at this point. The following day, as I again approached the magnificent form of the Lord Nrsimhadeva, my mind buzzed with doubt. What if that voice was just my mind, demanding the healing of my eyesight, which has been very poor and painful for the past 6 weeks? Thinking this way, I prayed for an answer. The voice spoke to me again, this time with a more serious and firm tone. You will get your eyes back when I get mine. His form always emanates a soft light, and my heart felt peaceful and warm. I felt overwhelmed with unusual confidence, as if my head were touching the sky. Would someone else like to carry on, continue?
I can
The next
continue.
morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead, Iris, please.
Okay, so the next morning at 2:20 a.m., I woke up fully refreshed and wide awake. I was unusually early for me, as I usually get up around 6 o'clock. A soft voice urged me to rise, bathe, and attend Mangalarati, which I did. After the ceremony was over, the same voice urged me to follow Pankajangri Prabhu from Lord Nrsimha's altar into the pujari room. I felt very embarrassed and had tears in my eyes. I also felt a kind of unwillingness in my heart to reveal my mind to him. As he was preparing the articles for Lord's Abhishek, I started to talk to him. Pankajangri Prabhu listened attentively to my story. Then, without saying anything, he smiled and gave me Maha sweets from Lord Nrsimhadev's plate. The following morning, when my daughter returned from the temple, she was shouting, "Mommy, they changed Nrsimhadev's eyes. He has beautiful red eyes now." And as the sweet, deep voice had promised, my eyesight was miraculously cured within 3 days. All glories to the merciful Lord Nrsimhadeva in Sri Mayapur. Hare Krishna.
Very well,
Hare
thank you.
Krishna.
I'm going to read this. The editor's note. Lord Nrsimhadeva originally had red eyes. One day, a devotee came to Mayapur and offered 2 precious yellow stones for his eyes, and the pujaris reluctantly changed the eyes on the deity. They felt happy when the Lord revealed that he wanted his original red eyes. It's really cool. Yeah. Really, really cool.
This is beautiful. Devotees that have the bless of worship deities knows that Krishna reciprocates everything, and I think that all pujarinis can relate some pastime like this, like wake up sweating because dress up the deity too much, or wake up with cold because didn't put the blanket. Iris is shaking the head, so probably you had this experience also, right?
Not personally, but I heard about it.
I remember, Prema, when I was staying at the temple in Rio, and there was that one day when I can't remember which, if it was Jagannath or Balaram or Lady Subhadra, but the crown kept falling off. Do you remember that? I mean, I'm not a Pujari, so I remember that was happening, and you guys were laughing about it and like discussing because it kept happening and happening and happening.
Yeah, they are very playful. The deities in Rio de Janeiro temple, and I used to put them to sleep. I used to be the Pujarini at night, and they are very playful, very playful. So we always had some jokes about the humor of each deity, because there is some things that we know that they kind of will happen. So we know when the deity accepts or not what you're offering, because the way that the deity behaves. And this is something wonderful in Krishna consciousness that is, it's, I think it kind of impossible to explain to someone that that's not in the process of Krishna consciousness. I don't know. I don't know if one of you have some kind of realization about this. Any thoughts?
I mean, not exactly, but I love that about this tradition that we have a personal relationship with Krishna and he's constantly speaking to us. Like at the beginning, I couldn't understand when devotees said, oh, he's playing a joke on you. Or he's like, it's he's what else do they usually say? He's somehow like trying to tell you something because like I used to be Catholic, that's my background, and for me God is like far away doing his own thing, and he only comes to you when you are like behaving bad to punish. It's not like this playful character who is constantly working around you. You can see his hands everywhere because of course he's the super soul in your soul. And I find that so beautiful.
It's very nice.
I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh yeah. Nrsimhadeva Ki Jai.
So for 42 years, I've worn that.
Wow. That's cool.
What my daughter wants when I pass. What? She says, I mean, for her whole life, I've worn it. I had this before I was married. It was actually, I was living in the brahmachari and this Buddha came through and he had that. And he had the ring for Lord Nrsimhadeva. And I hadn't been there. So it's actually probably closer to 44. I had a little bit of money left when I joined the temple. And this was the last 25 bucks. And that was the last of the money I had. And I bought him. So, yeah. So every day at the temple when they do the sugar berries and I'll think I'm a Catholic, right? Just my little thing.
Okay. So speaking of hands, there is another pastime I want to read, which is pretty interesting as well. It's short. This one's short. So let me see. Pull this up. It's pastime number 5, if someone would like to read it.
I
I'll
think
read it,
that
but let me get
Devalaya
it
was
pulled
about
up
to say
where
something.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yes, Devalaya, yes.
It's okay. I can read if you like.
Please. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Pastime 5. One Russian Mataji used to make Tulsi garlands for Nrsimhadev every day. Being pleased with her, Nrsimhadev's pujari gave her one of Lord Nrsimhadev's false fingernails as prasad. She took it and kept it with her. That night she had a dream in which she saw that Lord Nrsimhadev had come to her and was sitting on her bed. The Lord then put his fingers with his long nails inside her heart and pulled out something black and said, "You see this? This is not love, it is lust. And there is still more there. What shall I do with it?" She could not reply, and her dream broke. The next day she went before Lord Nrsimhadev and asked him to throw it far away.
Yeah.
Wow.
So cool. Yeah. Imagine. Could you imagine? I don't know how I would handle Lord Nrsimhadev coming to me in my dreams. I mean, who knows? But
I
maybe you
was
could help through.
I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Well, this is really interesting that yeah, so when I was at New Vrindavan and I saw him, I was really scared to approach him.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, like, I don't really know how to approach him, to be honest. I'm wondering if there's a correct way in the temple.
Well,
Has it? Yeah.
with humility, I can say, when you don't know how to approach someone or a deity, always try to approach in a humble way with humility. So when we go to worship a new deity, for instance, we always when you enter in the temple room, we knock on the door or ring the bell, right? We say, "Excuse me, may I come in?" Pay your obeisance. And with the deity, it's the same thing. Try to present yourself to the deity and see what can flows. Because deities like this, I never been in Vrindavan, but in Mayapur, can be really scary. Can be really scary with all the devotees chanting and with the security officers on each side of the deity, because there is security guards only for that deity also there, can be pretty scary. So I think that when you try to approach the deity with humility, in a humble way, it will never be a wrong thing.
Thank you, Prema.
Thank you.
And Nrsimhadev at New Vrindavan, it's really cool too. So cool. And what, Prem, please help me. The Shulam Nrsimhadev, he's in Germany? Is it Germany?
That deity, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so beautiful looking. I love him.
I will try to
But
share
yeah,
something on the
please.
chat, a picture.
Okay, and well, we got 6:55. Let's read one more pastime between the deity, or Nrsimhadev deity, and the devotees. It is pastime 2. Is it 2? Yes, I like this one because I've always heard stories about if you're having darshan of the deities and you're praying or whatever, and something falls or a flower falls off the garland or something. I don't know how the truth behind it, but I've heard that it's like means your prayer was answered or whatever. So I'm not sure. Maybe Prem, you being a Pujarini, you could talk to this more. But this pastime is very similar. So if would anyone like to read it? I can read
I'll
it.
read it.
Okay, please, Prabhu. Yes.
Was it an echo, or did you talking to me?
No,
I
to
thought I
you. I
heard
said,
you over
yeah,
there.
please. Yeah. So
Okay.
we're at pastime
All right.
2 there.
Yep. Once Lord Nrsimhadeva's puja was going on as usual, when the Pujari noticed that one flower fell from Nrsimhadeva's garland. The Pujari asked the visitors if anyone was offering any special prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva. The visitors in front did not say anything, but from the back, one lady came forward with tears in her eyes. She said, "My daughter got married about 4 or 5 years ago, and she has no issue. The people in my son-in-law's house consider it inauspicious. So I was praying to Nrsimhadeva that he might help her desperate situation." Then the Pujari said, "Your prayer is granted. The symptom is that this flower fell from Nrsimhadeva's garland. Please take this and keep it nicely. You can wash this flower and give the water to your daughter to drink." Then the Mataji left, and later the Pujari forgot the incident. After 1 year, the same Mataji, along with her daughter, son-in-law, and a newborn baby, came smiling to Nrsimhadeva. She reminded the Pujari about the prayer she made 1 year back, as a result of which her daughter gave birth to a very nice baby boy, whom they named Palad. And once again, they offered a very nice puja, offering fruit and flowers to Lord Nrsimhadeva.
Hi. Please forgive my ignorance. I assume when it says she has no issue, that means she couldn't get pregnant, couldn't conceive a child.
That's the way I take it, because that was kind of interesting way it was put. But then, of course,
Yeah,
she has a child is the main part of the story.
yeah. I was confused when I read that too, but yeah, interesting. Very cool. Prema, could you speak to what I was talking about like flowers falling from the garland and stuff? Do you know?
Well, I was trying to think here about the reference in the Shastras, and I don't remember known. Need to do a quick search on Wikipedia. Oh, thank you, Iris.
Yeah, thank you, Iris. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. But I always heard this on the movement, that when you were looking through the deities and you see something foul, like flower, a petal of flower, or maybe a gel of the deity, it's a confirmation. So when you're meditating on the deity and this happens, it's a very positive sign. But me personally, I don't know the evidence of this in the Shastras to give to you right now. I need to search, but I always heard this.
Awesome. Thank you. It's 6:59. Should we read one more pastime? Is everyone okay with that?
I am.
Okay. Perfect. Let me share again. I'm sorry I keep forgetting to unshare when we start having conversations and talking. Because I can see us all, but I know you guys, I don't know how if you guys can, but anyway, so pastime 1. Lord Nrsimhadeva's Pujari had a very startling dream in which the director of the temple called him and told him to bring some diesel oil, saying, "We are going to sacrifice Lord Nrsimhadeva." "You are going to what?" exclaimed the Pujari. "Yes, we are going to sacrifice Lord Nrsimhadeva." "You can't do that. This is crazy. Just bring the diesel, will you?" "Okay, we'll bring the oil, but I don't want anything to do with this. It doesn't make any sense." After some time, the Pujari returned to the temple and was totally shocked to see that everything had been completely burned by a great fire, and all that remained of the deity was his feet and ankles. Early next morning, he approached the chief Pujari and asked if he could explain the meaning of this terrible nightmare. After thinking for a while, he began to smile and said, "Oh yes, you see, yesterday was the start of Jaladan, which is the festival of dripping water on Shalagram. for 1 month, but we forgot to observe it. Therefore, Lord Nrsimhadeva is letting you know that he's burning up and you should immediately begin the Jaladan, which we did. That's so cool. That's similar to what you were mentioning, Prema, about the deities being too cold at night or too warm, right?
It happens. There's two types of pujaris and pujarinis. Those that experienced this already and those that will experience this.
That's so cool. That's cool. Is anyone else here with us? Has anyone been a pujari or is a pujari or a pujarini?
I took care of. For a very short time, I dressed Gorni tie in New Orleans, but I don't have anything like that. I was very new. I was just quite pleased to be able to just do that. I was still learning, and it was very difficult because you have a very limited time to do things, and you have all these prayers you have to memorize, and all these the rituals, and yeah, it was pretty intense. So if any of that happened, I was not aware of it because I'm so focused on this other thing. Anyway.
Cool. Yeah, so interesting. Well, does anyone have anything else they'd like to share? Any realizations or things they know about Nrsimhadeva? You know, his appearance is coming up on Thursday, right? Thursday, the 30th, yeah. Cool. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for having patience with me and running this Zoom thing. This is the first time I've ever run anything on Zoom. But I appreciate all you being here and reading and sharing. So Hare Krishna to you all. Thank you very much. See you next week. Oh, next week we will continue with Acharya Dev's book. We'll be continuing there.
So if you guys want, whatever Monday comes close to the temple opening here, you want to take some time, I can go show you the temple.
Cool.
Oh yeah, this would be amazing.
Yeah.
Coming along, we're making a lot of progress. But I'll wait till I'll figure it out Monday would be more appropriate. Maybe even after the festival, then it'll be done. Because that takes place on Saturday. So the money, so whatever the 17th, 19th, right in that time, then the temple will be done. If you want to spend some time, I'll take you for a tour.
All right,
That'd be cool.
Mangalarti, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Quite beautiful.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better too, Prabhu. Yeah, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you.
Haribol, thanks for the pastimes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for being here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribol.